We now welcome our very own Kourtney Osbourne. Kourtney Osbourne is a passionate marketing executive and is currently Vice President of Marketing here at Weave, where she leads demand generation, content, communications, and marketing operations. Prior to Weave, she worked at Qualtrics as a founding member of the marketing team. At Qualtrics, she built and supervised the global marketing campaigns and event teams, including the Qualtrics annual event, creating moments that helped lead the company to an $8 billion acquisition. Today's Kourtney's message is, simplify your marketing, increase your impact.
Hi everybody, this presentation is Simplify Your Marketing to Maximize Your Impact. I'm Kourtney Osbourne, I'm VP of Marketing here at Weave, and I talk to customers and business owners from different industries, different product lines, different sizes all the time, and they seem to be mystified by marketing. And it's really not that complicated, and it makes me kind of sad being in the position that I am. I want to simplify marketing for you. So this presentation is to take simple actions, simple programs for you to maximize your marketing output and ultimately get more customers in the door. So first, it's going to be about simplifying your target audience. Then we're going to talk about simplifying your promotion channels, and then ultimately simplifying your life. So let's jump right in. I really believe that every business owner is an expert in their area. Some of you have spent years studying what you do or years having the businesses that you have, but you also can be the expert in your marketing too. So first, we're going to talk about your audience. What is a target audience? Well, first, I also ask business owners when I'm consulting with them, who do you think is going to buy your product? Or who do you think is going to have your service? And the answer is often, well, everybody, right? Well, even water, the most basic human need that we have, is not marketed or sold the same way to people. You have to understand who your target audience is and who your customer is so that you can market and promote things appropriately. So a target audience simply is a specific group of customers most likely to respond positively to your promotions, products, and services. These are patterns among the people that you interact with on a daily basis that are very similar. And often when you find this, you'll find that they find out about your business and your service the same way. So when I'm trying to define a target audience, there's 5 factors I use generally to get started. Now, these are the most general that I would use. Your business is going to be different. And as we go throughout this exercise, you're going to find more things that you're going to want to know about your audience. So the first 5 factors I use to start this exercise is age, gender, income level, or whether they have an income or not, geography. For service-based organizations, this one is really important, is how close the people that you're servicing are to your location, and then relationship status, married, single, divorced. There's lots of different ways to analyze a target audience. You can do motivations, you can do buying preferences. So just for sake of this exercise, these are the 5 I like to start with every business that I consult with. So I'm all about simplicity. You could get technologies for this. You could pay somebody a lot of money. This is all free. Just get out a spreadsheet. Okay, this is the first thing I want you to do. Just get out a simple spreadsheet, and this is what we're going to use to go through everything today. This is about a semester worth of marketing classes right now, just packed right into 30 minutes. So get a spreadsheet out. First, step 1. What I like to do when I'm trying to figure out who my actual audience is just write down who I think my audience is. The reason that I do this is without looking at any data, just simply understand who my bias goes towards. I like to write this down first because often I kind of get dishonest with myself as I go into this next step afterwards of who I think the audience is, and it always is in the back of my mind actually making me look at the data differently. So just no more than 5 minutes in that first spreadsheet, in that first sheet, just write down who you think your audience is. Who do you think your customers are? What do you think their motivations are, etc. So for this exercise, I have a lot of friends and family members that own salons, and so I'm going to use this in context of a salon. So I think that my customer is 30 to 35. She stays at home. It's a woman. She has 2+ kids. She's married, and she lives within 10 miles of the office. So that's step 1. The next step is actually using your data sources to get more granular on who the audience actually is. So I would recommend you use your review sites, your financial data, your customer contact system, some of the analytics you might have. You usually have these at your disposal. So just find where your customer information is housed and start analyzing that. For this case, in the salon exercise, I started actually going through and saying, okay, what age are they? What gender are they? What income level? All those things I mentioned, but then I wanted to get deeper. And this is where it's really important. As you're going through this, understand the revenue side of your customer. What is your average spend per year? What is the average spend per time that they come to you? If you're a e-commerce business, how many items do they have in their cart at once when they actually get sold? So as you're going through this, you'll find out more information, but kind of use your gut. This is an example here that you might find, hey, how much do I get tipped by people? So there's people that you constantly have to your business, and there's people that you actually like coming to your business, right? There might be somebody that their average spend is not that much, but you really love interacting with them. So you'll find information like that to indicate the people that you like doing business with. Also, you'll find information that isn't relevant. So income level, for instance, you're like, actually, I don't know that information. Or I do know that I ran a promotion with students, and while I did get a few of them, they're unrealistic in their expectations and they don't spend a lot with me, or do they return to my business? So while I might have a lot of those, they're not who I really want to target moving forward. So the next step in this, and I'm going through this quickly, each of these should take, second step, probably a couple hours, depending on how deep you want. I find if you just do the top 20 to 30 customers, usually you'll start getting to see the patterns. Otherwise, you can go as deep as you'd like. So moving on to step 3. Look at the competition. Who are your competitors, either based on the geography, based on the service that you provide, based on the product? Look at their website, look at their social media, look at their reviews. I actually have a friend that was looking to start a business, and he staked out his competition. He sat on a bench outside their building and watched all the customers come in, all the customers come out, average time that they spent. And after doing that analysis, he realized he didn't want to start the business because he felt like it wouldn't make financial sense. That business that he staked out actually went out of business 9 months later. So by looking at the competition and understanding their target audience, he was actually able to save himself some money. So after you've done those 3 steps in the spreadsheet, so you have 3 different spreadsheets, look at the patterns. So strong patterns indicate your target audience. Where are people finding you? So find those customers, what are the similarities, how do they act, what do they spend, and find those audiences, okay? So that, ultimately, those 3 steps will give you an indication of who your target audience is. So write down what you think, look at the data systems, and then look at your competition. And that's step 1 in overall simplifying your marketing. The next step that we're going to talk about is simplifying your promotion channels. A promotion channel simply are the ways your message, goods, and services are made available to use by consumers. So again, people are mystified by this. Let me please, you do not need to do everything. And I think that's one of the things I notice with marketing is people are like, oh, I have to be everywhere to everyone. No, you only have to be in a few places to very certain people, and you'll see a lot of growth in your business. So step 1, okay? I want you to list all your current organic channels. And organic channels are things that you don't pay for or that is naturally part of your operating rhythm. So these aren't proactive marketing campaigns that you do. So first, your online reviews are an example of an organic. You don't pay for those. People give you those reviews. I want you to list your website. I want to list your Google business page. I want your social media channels, your blog if you have one. You don't need one. Keep in mind, only if you have one. This is just some information for you. These channels that we're talking about that you don't pay for, 95% of customers read online reviews before even making a purchase. So 84% will trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. And so some of these organic channels are actually where a lot of your traffic is coming from. So list those out. Another thing about organic channels is your communication channels. People don't view these as marketing channels, but they are. So your email that you send out to your customers, your text messages, your phone when you're calling people, you know, the voicemail you have. One of the things is your financial invoices. Those are all marketing channels, but people just think about, oh no, that's just how I communicate. Well, that's an opportunity actually to put a marketing message in there. If I actually had $500 for every time I actually filled out the Taco Bell receipt that offers $500, believe me, I'd have so much money. That's just a receipt I get afterwards, and it's a marketing channel. They're actually getting me to do something by giving me an offer. Your employees are a marketing channel. People don't think about that. Your customers and the word of mouth. And then if you have a physical e-commerce business, your mailers, your packages, all of those things are organic. They're part of your business operating rhythm. Make sure to write those out because those are actually promotion channels that you can maximize. Quick little note of why I think that this is the case. It is actually proven that your employees have 16 times more engagement on social media posts about your business than you actually posting on your corporate site. Also, this is an adage of business of old, but it costs 5 times more to attain a customer than to retain a customer. So looking back at all those things, where are you already communicating to your customers and potential customers? Okay, so step 1, we listed out all our organic channels, right? Step 2, now that we've put that into our spreadsheet, so you should be about the 4th sheet over, I think. But step 2 is to ask your new customers coming in the door. We've all done our intake forms at a doctor's office. We've all done the intake forms at businesses. So that's the first place I would start with this, is new customers that are coming in, ask them where they actually heard about you. Now, candidly, this is just to get the mass and just to get you a general pattern. Most people don't give you enough detail in this. So I want you to take this a step further. If you're interacting with people in person, so say you have an office or in an online setting, try to have somebody actually ask them in person. This will lead to more organic conversations and allow you to get more detail on, oh, you heard about it from a friend? Which friend? Oh, you heard about us online? Where online? So I recommend that if you have an employee at the front or you have a support person that's helping you, or even if it's an email exchange, make sure to ask in person because you're going to get more detail about where your new customers have found you. The next one, just quickly on that note, this is a great opportunity to verify your target audience. So now that you understand that and you've asked the question, you can actually verify. So step 3 is actually asking your existing customers. So when they come in the door, we mentioned that. If you have a repeat customer, ask them where they heard about you originally, or ask them why they're coming back. The second is through your organic communication channels we mentioned. Email, text messages, phones. It's very easy for a customer, hey, really quick question, where did you hear about me? You don't need to ask every single person, but go back to that. The third is to send a survey. There's lots of free online survey systems that you can send an email if you want to get more detail. Something I'd recommend in this step 3 is don't shy away from asking these questions to customers you have lost. They might not respond as much, but you're going to get more information as to how they got there and why they ultimately didn't stay than even some of your repeating customers. So don't shy away from asking customers that have not actually come back to you. Okay, the point of this exercise and overall is that you now have your target audience. You now have everywhere that they're heard about you. You have all your free channels. We're going to build one by one and build a really solid tower. I think I use the analogy of Jenga. Everybody thinks marketing is just, you gotta do everything. It's all over the ground. It's just, but in the end, you're just one level. But if you can do one thing at a time really, really well, you're gonna build a really, really solid foundation from your marketing efforts, and it's gonna build on top of each other. I would highly recommend you watch Adam Smith's session on SEO. He talks a lot about actually maximizing organic channels using that method, and there's some fantastic tips and tricks. So highly recommend watching that session. Overall though, this is my favorite quote. It's never half-ass 2 things when you can whole-ass 1 thing. You wanna build one thing at a time and build on top of each other rather than it tumbling to the ground. So find those promotion channels that are working most effectively, know your target audience. Step 1, list your current channels. Step 2, ask your new customers. And step 3, ask your existing customers. Next up, simplify your life. Sounds good, right? Okay, you're looking at me like, Court, amazing product and service. I already have that. I now know my target audience, and I now know my top marketing channels that they're actually hearing about me from. But I don't have time. So you could go and work 168 hours. You could not eat, you could not sleep, you could not breathe, but for sake of this exercise, we're going to talk about working for 40 hours. We want to promote simplifying your life so you can have work-life balance. As a small business owner, you're like, that doesn't exist. But for sake of this, I want you to focus on 40 to 60 hours of your work week. What you're going to do is map out your current work week. I want you to look at your calendars, I want to look at your appointment books, and I want you to get really, really honest with yourself on where you're spending your time. I regularly do this for myself, with my team members, with people that I consult with. And it's amazing what you'll find if you actually map out what you're spending your time on. For instance, one of the things that when I did this recently, I realized is I was spending so much time just going in between meetings. Over half an hour of my day was just spent walking from one point to another. Well, I easily was able to save some time by consolidating that down and having all my meetings in one room. So there's little things you can find. When you're mapping this out, I always recommend using your screen time analyzer on your phone. It's really scary. And you'll realize at one point I was spending 2 hours a day on Instagram. Instagram's great, especially if you're promoting your business. Not great if you're just constantly scrolling. So if you really want to get honest with yourself, use your screen time analyzer on your phone. So the step 2 is you're actually going to find out, now that you've mapped it out, don't start analyzing it quite yet, but now go find the holes. Go find the time that you actually have in between. For me, I found out that I had 3 to 4 hours a week that I could actually focus on marketing. During my lunch times, I could have been actually either learning or doing something more. And so those were just natural holes I found by analyzing my time. One thing I found was I spent a lot of time on airplanes. That was perfect opportunity. It couldn't be wasted. I could actually use that time to work on my marketing strategy. This is the example I just used, is my meeting time. I was spending so much time in meetings talking about work and not actually doing the work. So I tried to consolidate down the meetings I was doing, really analyzing, do I need to have this meeting or can it be a really efficient email? And so start having those conversations with yourself and your team members so that you can start really maximizing your time. Step 3, okay, this is where we're going to get down to the actual doing the marketing piece. I want you to check off the low-hanging fruit first, okay? You're looking at this, you're like, wow, I could optimize my entire website. That's really scary. Oh my gosh, I could do this entire direct mail campaign. That's a little scary. Build momentum, okay? So Google Business Page Update. Adam Smith mentioned this in his session. That takes an hour at most. If you have the photos, get it checked off the list. Build momentum. Posting on your social accounts, 15 minutes. Asking your employees to post about you, 5 minutes. Find a few things that are low-hanging fruit and build momentum, because that's going to build your confidence as a marketer, and then you're going to start seeing the results very quickly. So again, do the low-hanging fruit. Don't always stay in the low-hanging fruit once you've built up the momentum. Don't stay in the weeds, but start there. But now you're saying, Court, no, really, I looked at my calendar and I don't have any more time. So the first thing I'd ask is, do you have any employees? If you have employees, have them go through that exercise and find the holes in their schedule. And then they can fill that because you're paying them. Have them fill the time to build the social media account. Okay, you're a single business owner. You're a sole owner, operator, finance person, everything, okay? So you don't have employees. That's okay too. Do you have a teenager? Ask them to do your social media. I promise they're probably going to be better at it than you. My 15-year-old nephew, way better at social media than I am, and I'm a VP of marketing. Hire someone. I think people are really nervous to hire someone in this regard. We're not talking a full 40 hours. Find a temp agency. This is 4 or 5 hours, maybe a week, to maximize the impact and get more customers in the door. And one of the things you might realize is you might analyze your time and realize that you don't want more customers in the door. So that's an observation as well. And then also bring on a paid intern. Every single university, and I say this in the no budget section as well, every university usually that has a marketing degree requires their student to have a marketing internship for them to graduate. Go to your local university, find students that need this internship, and if you have the money, pay them. If they don't, some of them are desperate and they need an internship, so you don't have to pay them. Ask family and friends for help if you don't have any budget. Ask for people in your network that do marketing. Ask them to do some things for free. I get asked by family and friends all the time to analyze things for them, give them suggestions, write a press release, and people are happy to do that if you ask. Don't take advantage, but I promise people are really willing to help you if you know exactly what you need them to help you with. That is the difference. They won't know if you can't tell them. And I mentioned the internships as well. So simplifying your life, map out your week, understand, then finding the holes in your schedule to understand where you actually can spend time on your marketing. You could have all the ideas in the world, but without time, you can't actually execute it. And then build the momentum by getting those simple things out of the door. And if you need to hire someone, that's great too. But again, at least you have a direct direction for them to follow and not just like, hey, maybe do some marketing. So clear audience, clear promotional channels, and clear simplification of your life so you know how much time you have. Overall, just in conclusion, target audience, who is buying your product or service? Simplifying your promotion channels. Where are they finding out about you? And simplifying your life. Streamlining your work to reclaim time to use it towards marketing to get more customers in the door. But overall, get moving today. Just start. Don't feel like you have to do all this at once. Maybe in that 1 hour you found, just find out about your target audience. Then the next week you talk about promotional channels. This is my one little pitch for Weave though. Weave feels the pain that small business owners feel. And our goal is to simplify everything you're doing. We're the complete business toolbox. And because we do reviews, we do phones, we do text messaging, it's really 7 systems in one. And so from the first phone call to your final payment, we integrate a lot of systems for you to save time to find those holes in your business. And it's not just so that you can use it on marketing, it's so you can use it on your life and you can spend it on things other than work. So that's my one little pitch for Weave. If you're looking for another way to simplify your life, please ask for a demo so that we can show you how actually integrating all your technologies will save you, on average, when we asked our customers, 60 to 90 minutes a week. Actually, per day, sorry, 60 to 90 minutes per day by using Weave. So overall, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you taking the time. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But I really feel like if you simplify your marketing strategy, you'll maximize your impact and you'll see the results in your business and seeing the customers that come in your door. Thank you so much.